Greetings, programs. Here we are. It's 1984 again. Today, it's my Juno-106 40th birthday. And so today I'm going to celebrate the Juno-106. I essentially purchased it on my birthday back in 1984. Today I'm going to play some sounds. I'm going to tell you two, I think they're pretty cool stories. One of them about how durable the 106 is, and the other one about what a great attraction it was in 1984 to some people. It's going to be all about the love today. The first video that I did on the Juno-106, I kind of ranked on it. And since then, I got the voice chip fixed, or I fixed it myself actually. And the second one was an April Fool's, spoofing another person's channel, and I just wanted to have some fun. So today, all about the love. I got a real janky setup here today, and there may be some jump cuts because I'm not working off a script. All right, let's play a sound. I should tell you that this Juno-106 here, which is my personal Juno-106, purchased it 40 years ago, it has all the original sounds in it that I used back in 1984. Some of those may still be some factory presets that I didn't edit, but I'm going to go through about half a dozen different sounds that I was using, including the piano sound that I was using back in 1984 and the sound I was using for Jump. Little bit of history, and I think I said this in the other one, and I'll make this short. I traded in a mint condition Yamaha PS20, which I essentially just purchased. And it had, one finger bass, and it didn't have a lot of sounds, and it had some tick, tick, tick drum sounds on it. And it was a good little keyboard, and they still seem to go for a fair amount on eBay and Reverb. But I knew that if I wanted to play in a band, I needed a serious synthesizer, and the Juno-106 was serious at the time. It was entry level, but it was a good sounding entry level synth. Here's a synth sound. I can't remember what I used this on, but it's a good sound. And the bass line on it sounds pretty good. That's pretty punchy. Sometimes I forget how good this synth is. It's because I have all this other whiz-bang tech. But anyway, it's a great sounding synth for what it is. It really is. So the first story here is I was playing with a band called Mischief, and I did this one kind of side gig. And it would have been the summer of 1984, and the kids were out of school, but they had this kind of hoedown thing, and I played with this country band, one gig, sang 2 or 3 songs. I only remember one of them that I sang, and it was Baby's Got Her Blue Jeans On. Now, interestingly, I videotaped that. I had a video cassette recorder with a camera at the time, and I've been looking desperately to find that video cassette tape and transfer it over. I haven't been able to find it yet, but if I find it, I'll put it as a postscript at the end of this. It's incredibly embarrassing, but what the heck? That's what YouTube's about, to embarrass you. So we played this gig, and about halfway through the gig, we took a break. I think we only played 2 sets. So we played our first set. Would have been, I guess, 10 songs. And then we took a break. And I played a few strains from Jump. And this was the sound I was using for Jump at the time. And I used it for a lot of other songs in the band, in the other band I was playing. We were doing some Stevie Nicks. I dare not play any more than that, probably take down the video, but I think that's enough. But I also used it for jump, and I would just, you know, kill a little bit of the release time, make it a little bit more buzzy, and now obviously that's not the exact riff, but you know the riff. And I can't play it or they'll take the video down. But I remember I played that and the kids went crazy. Now I'm calling them kids, but at the time I was just a kid too. And they went crazy, and I said, stick around and you can come on stage and I'll show you the synth. And they did, and a bunch of them were really good players. They played piano, and I let them basically take over, and they were having fun moving the sliders and having fun with it. Had they ever seen a synthesizer before? Of course they had. MTV was huge back then. But had they ever seen one in person and got to touch it, got to play it? Probably not. So it was pretty cool for them. And it was cool for me. Let's take a look at another sound here, the bubble sound. Always loved this sound. And if you slow down the LFO, you get that kind of rising whine. And then if you add just a little bit of LFO, because I'm sweeping the envelope, you can get some weirdness. That sounds cool. Not enough yet. Always like that. Anyway, let's take a look at another one, the reverse fantasy sound. I remember when I first got the Juno, I held down a key, and so what does it do? Oh, that was pretty cool. Cool stuff. I mean, for one oscillator and a sub, it really does a lot. The chorus obviously helps a ton, but it's those Roland filters. You can't overemphasize how important that is to the sound of the Juno. It just sounds so much warmer than my Akai AX80. I love the AX80, it's a different synth, but this sounds so much warmer. Just smooth and palatable. All right, I'll tell you one more story, and then I'm going to play you the piano sound I was using on songs back in 1984. And this story is about playing out on Okaloosa Island in Northwest Florida, between Destin and Fort Walton Beach. And I was playing a gig there with the band Mischief. And we were out on this deck, and there's people dancing, and there's sand dunes all around you, and beautiful green water. Very nice place to go for a vacation, but going in the water can be dangerous. Sharks everywhere, so be careful. And I was about halfway through the gig, maybe third set, and the Juno just died. And when it did, I was mortified. I turned it off, I turned it on, it wouldn't come back. I touched the top panel and it was just roasting hot. We're out in the blazing sun in Florida, and this is probably July or August, and it's sweltering hot. And the bar manager came out and he said, "What's wrong? Why have you stopped playing? You know, if people aren't dancing and sweating even more, they're not buying as many drinks." So it's very important for bar business. And I said, my keyboard just died. And back then I didn't know anything about thermistors or heat protection in devices. And he goes, "I know what it is." And he left, and he came back with 2 giant bags, garbage bags full of ice that he tied off, and some towels, and we put it on the Juno. And I think it was about 20 minutes later, and we revived the Juno. So that's a really cool story, I think, about how durable this synthesizer has been. And it's been through hell in a way, because I played it a lot in 84, 85, and 86 in the bands I played in. Mostly in the band Hotline, which I've got some very embarrassing pictures that you've probably seen already if you've looked at some of the other videos. I've never recapped the power supply. The power supply is still going. All the sliders still feel pretty smooth. The portamento knob is incredibly smooth, as is the volume knob. The only one time I kind of let my Juno down was when I was moving from Hallandale Beach, Florida, in the Miami area, out to California, and a box slid off. I had everything in my little Honda Civic 4-door, and it shaved off the rate button and the delay time button for the LFO. And it just like snapped them right off, and I was like mortified. I thought, oh, that's going to cost a fortune. I've just killed my Juno. It cost me about $100, I think, at the tech, and this was circa 1991-92, which was a fortune to me, but I was so happy it was only $100 and not a lot more than that. So, been an incredibly reliable keyboard. This is the piano sound I was using back in 1984. It's not a bad piano. Even for today, it sounds pretty good. Does it sound like a piano? Well, not exactly, but it's certainly not bad. And I was playing songs like this. I got to be careful what I play. If I play too much of something, they'll take the video down. That kind of stuff, and that kind of stuff, and that kind of stuff. And even later on, I played a few gigs in the Miami area. Dare not play any more of that. But this has really been a great keyboard. It worked very hard for me in the 80s, and I'm so fortunate to still own it. It's 40 years old. Happy birthday, Juno-106. If it's still here in 50 years, so 10 more years, and I'm still around, I think I'll probably do a 50th birthday party for it. I'm going to probably look a lot older by then. Hopefully I'll still have some hair. So thanks for stopping by for this, the third of my Juno-106 videos. I'm not going to do another one. I think I've probably worn it out as it is. But I thought it'd be good to do one for its 40th birthday, because it deserves it. It deserves it. I don't have a lot of tech that I bought brand new that's that old. This is it. This is the oldest thing I have. Yep. So consider subscribing if you like this video and you like the content that I'm doing. I do appreciate it when people subscribe. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. That would be nice. And if you have any ideas for anything that you'd like to see on the channel, you can let me know about that too. I've done a couple of viewer suggested videos, not the most watched of videos, but I'm always happy to do them. So let me know. So thanks for watching, take care, and I'll be back in another video soon.